Hey guys, I just want to say a lot of times parents of special needs kids, a lot of people don't remember, or a lot of people don't notice or acknowledge the gift from God that our children are. And a lot of times through the struggles, we might feel frustrated, hurt, down, sometimes alienated because a lot of people don't want to be in your life, be in your energy because of your children, even some of the siblings, even whoever, but to the parents specifically or the caregivers of the special needs child. Kudos to you because it's such a blessing. Because even when they're having a bad day and you think about how wonderful they are and how they bless you, you smile. So I just want to say I'm so grateful for my son. And when I found out about him being on the spectrum when he was 2, I had doctors tell me that he was going to, he might not be able to feel emotions like everybody else. He might not know how to love and etc. But praise be to God. The biggest thing about him is love. He has a little tantrum here or there. But the love that he has, that he shows me, that he shows the world, is so big and so beautiful. Even though I have such a big heart, the love that my son shows is so much bigger than the power that I have. And I just want to say I'm grateful for him, even though I might have my hard days, but I have more joy than I have pain. And I just want to say that this is something holding back of our minds. We call ourselves normal. We call ourselves normal, right? But what about how we love each other? How we love one another, our mates, our friends, our families. So who are we to tell them that they don't deserve to have love beyond mom or dad or friends? That is something in the back of my mind. Now I understand that even I came from a mother that had dyslexia, and I don't know about other things. Maybe she just had dyslexia. You know what I'm saying? Even as a child, I had some speech things, but I don't know if that came from trauma or did it come from my mother. But the intelligence that my child has, and the kids that's on the spectrum or special needs, we say the intelligence that they do have, just because they don't show the normal intelligence what we call normal. But I know the intelligence I have. And if you've met me at my worst, or you saw me at my hard days, you might not have known how intelligent that I am and how God blessed me. And even though I came from a mother that people might consider as the runt of the bunch, or the one that was cast aside of the litter of pups, per se. The first shall be last and the last shall be first. And even though my mother had learning things against her, she still rocked out for her family. I know she did. Now, she might not have raised me for whatever reason, but she did her best to make sure that I was good. And maybe her raising me wasn't the best. And that's not for me to know, because if it was for me to know, God would have allowed me to be raised by her. So for those who don't appreciate their mothers or their fathers, you could have not had one. You could have not been raised by one, or whoever raised you. Your grandma, your auntie, your uncle, even if the wolves in the forest raised you, it doesn't matter. You survived. Okay? So I came on to say that my son make me proud every day. And I ain't gonna leave my daughter out. She's not on the spectrum. And I love my baby. She's so beautiful. And she has so much potential that she sometimes don't see. And to the siblings of special needs, or to the siblings who has helped raise their siblings or cousins or big uncles or aunties or whoever. Thank you. And thank you to the grandparents and the aunts and the uncles and the cousins that have raised their family's kids. Kudos. God put it in your heart and He allowed you. And even though, I'm going to be honest, I didn't have what I had when I was helping other people raise their kids for my children. And that's okay. But I know I got kids that love me and my family. You know what I mean? That I might have brought a little joy or a little spark or a little hope to. And I'm glad. I'm glad because you know what? They had a little bit of seeing who God was in me to share with their children, just in case their mother or their father wasn't that for them. A lot of times we think what we go through is just about us, but it's not always about us. And I'm glad. A lot of stuff in my life was not about me. And I'm so glad because I'd rather be a servant for God. I'd rather be someone for God. That my living was not in vain, but it was so many things. And and I've always worked with people, and I work with special needs people as well. And I found out, I'm sorry if the sounding was horrible, I found out that my son was on the spectrum. And I said, God, I laughed because I'm like, you know what? But you know what? God knew how to ground me and keep me whole and keep me humble. Not that I needed to be humbled, but it's choices that I should have made and I didn't make. But it's definitely choices that I did make that I wouldn't have made if I didn't have my own children. And I'm so glad. And I'm worshiping Him because I know it's a beyond He brought me out. Like He beyond brought me out. Because a lot of the youth don't understand coming from drug addiction in your family. But not even too many generations from Jim Crow and slavery. You know what I'm saying? A lot of kids don't understand that. And they looking like, I wouldn't do this, I wouldn't do that. But you just don't understand that you weren't put in that situation to go through X, Y, and Z. Because you wouldn't have went through it. You're right. You might not have made it through it. But you're allowed to be in this version of what we call a democracy because of the people that went before us. Yeah, they didn't make the best choices. But shoot, me being a mother, I started at 27. And even though I help others raise their kids, I'm not going to say it didn't prepare me for it. But I made mistakes. And if I was the person that I am now, I don't think I would have made certain mistakes. But that's still not for me to worry about. It's going forward. So when you find out diagnoses about your children, or when you find out someone don't love you, or you find out that you might be sick, or that you find some of the most devastating information in your life, or you lose a job, just know that take a deep breath. And on the other side of that breath, and thank you, God, is a blessing. A blessing. And you might not see it as a blessing, but I'm telling you, the stuff that even the past 10 years, I've lost things that were so big to me. Oh, okay. I've lost things that were so big to me over these years, over my life, but definitely what I can remember. And I'm okay. Now, when I was going through it, I felt sort of okay, but I know I'm okay. So just hold on. Don't give up. Don't let go. God first. Love and intent will always get you where you need to go. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.